What position do you think when they need to improve on for potentially the next coming seasons? Well, Danny knows one, and I know one. Hello and welcome to this video. You could like, share and subscribe to the channel. Much appreciate it. Liking out the algorithm, sharing gets in front of people's faces, and subscribing lets me know like the channel. Hit our notification bell to let you know when a video go live. So Sheffield Wednesday boss Danny Rule was speaking to all the media that went over, so the Star and BBC Radio Sheffield, and he was saying how they are still looking at the goalkeepers in their pre-season camp with George Shelby. But here's the thing. We know that now that Ben Hamer has an injury to his hand, so I'm guessing that's a broken finger of some sort, so you're going to have to wait until he gets back. Now, we also do know as well that Pierce Charles came back from Northern Ireland international duty last night and was ready to go. He had this to say to start. We'll see now in the following weeks what is best for the group. With Sal, I have someone with big experience. I trust him in the case. We always give feedback, and sometimes with the goalkeepers, there are group within a group for you to know the right players. There is potential to sign him. He's not about George here. So we'll see where he's at. If he's right fit for us, it's also a chance to see him in the group and how he acts there. How can he lead and play football? It's great to have time now. And then in the end, we will decide. Now, here's the thing for me, right? This is a big one for me, right? And I think you've got a situation with Pierce Charles. You've got one for the future. Really, you are looking at our net keeper in making. If you notice what he's done over the summer, he had definitely bulked up. He looks a lot better. He's an amazing passer out with his feet. Now, for a while, the goalkeeping position has been a position where we've always had someone from the academy with a bit of experience or a senior pro there. So for a longer time, it was Joe and Cam. And then it was Cam and Stockdale. Then it was Cam Baquez, and then Cam Baquez and Beadle for a little bit. This is the thing. We've always had this kind of thing where we've always had a Cam Dawson or for a little bit a Joe Waltman. This is the first time we haven't got that. And I think there's a reason for that. I think there's a reason for that in the sense that Cam wants to go and play 13 football, which you don't blame him at his age. We got a young keeper in Pierce Charles who will really want to kick on his Wednesday career. But if we go out and send him out loan, there is no point sending him out on loan to someone like, I don't know, say, I'm trying to think of a team that still play like this. Say Harrogate Town. Say Harrogate Town. Maybe they're kicking it long all the time. Yet we're kicking it out from the back and trying to build things. You want it to go to a team that's going to build things and know how to play him at his feet and be able to get him used to being caught on pressure by opposition attackers. And you've seen in some of the preseason games, his range of passing for a goalkeeper is ridiculous. Like, he did a pass during the Alfreton Town game, and the swerve on it to like bend it round the player was insane. He had been known to play outfield at times when they needed an extra body to kind of do that kind of role. But I think you've got to look at Pierce Charles as one of the talents that he isn't going anywhere, really, apart from out on loan. And you've got to figure out what's better and nurture him. That's the big word I use here, is nurture this talent. Make sure he's right. Make sure he's still in and around it. You can have it where you can see him be against James Beadle and go, we're both the same age and he's starting. And there's a difference in it, though. Beadle probably about a year, maybe 2 years ahead of where Pierce Charles is. If Pierce Charles was where Beadle was, we wouldn't be having the conversation of who's the number one. I think you would have it at Pierce Charles. But as it stands, goalkeeping situation is somewhere we really desperately need to try and improve. a little bit, even if it's just trying to make sure we look after Pierre Charles and get him ready for the future, or we find someone else to come in. Because if George does come in, you've got to see what he's like. You've got to see what he's like with the group, like they said. You don't want somebody to come in and upset the apple cart. That's the last thing you want to do. You want to make sure every little bit of it is right for every department. You don't want to have players coming in and disrupt that mood. And it does seem like there's no egos here in this squad. It's like they've all got the same incentive. They all want to try and do the right thing and get things going. So goalkeeping, again, is another position that we could do with looking at sorting. If you ask Danny says striker, midfielder, defender. So I would take a guess. We want a striker, defender, and midfielder. On the midfield side, we were looking at Matty Craig. He has gone to Barnsley on loan now, so we can scratch that one off the list. But we were starting to be looking at more midfielders from the Prem as you start to see players come back from their international tours, and what players might do well, what players they bring in, because they might have to bring a player in first before they let that player go out on loan. So I will be very interested to see what Danny brings in. The fact that he's saying a striker, centre-back and midfielder says a lot for me. And if you actually look at like Paveda and Dembele, they both can play that midfield role kind of thing. So who knows? Who knows on that one? But goalkeeping position, I'd like us to just get a bit more clarity in where we go next with it. Just for my own peace of mind, because it'd be nice. But apart from that, we need to just keep having a look at Selby. Hope that Ben Hamer's injury isn't long term. And Beadle, let's be honest, I still say to this day, we are so lucky to get Beadle back. He is such a good keeper, and I think he doesn't get the recognition that he should do, because it's always interesting that. So let's see what happens. But I think in Pierre Charles, we have got a potentially really good keeper on our hands. It's just where we end up using him and playing him. And that'll be the tricky part. If we can get that in the right way and get him to a loan where they can play to the strength that we're trying to play for, that would be fantastic. But it's going to be difficult to try and find a team like that lower down. There are more teams doing it now, though, playing this out from the back. So we'll see. Again, I think the quote was, thanks, Pep. You got everyone playing how you do. And he has, let's be honest. He has got it playing like that out from the back. It has just filtered down the leagues. And some people like it, some people hate it. So we'll see. But let me know what you think. Is the goalkeeping position one that we need to still start looking for the future? Or is Pierre Charles the future?